Since she's a rep, yeah.
What now? Yes.
Lives in Centerton.
She does.
I'm just saying. It's funny, you know?
Oh, it's recording. Okay, you ready?
Yes.
Nicole, are you ready?
State Athletic Commission.
You ready down there?
Yes.
Okay. You ready, Nicole? All right, good evening. Hello, welcome guest. I'm gonna go ahead and call the Centerton City Council meeting to order for December 10th, 2024. Would everyone in attendance please rise and join me in the pledge of allegiance? Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Keith, will you lead us in prayer?
Everybody, please remain standing for the prayer. Dear Lord, thank you for this great city that we have here. Lord, be with us as we go about as council members and making decisions to run this city. Lord, thank you for the year that we've had. And Lord, be with the council as they go into the new year. Help them to make the decisions that's best for the city. Let all the agendas be left outside the city council chambers. Let everybody work together. And Lord, thank you for our families. And also, Lord, I want to say I praise the employees that we have, the many that we have, the great jobs that they do. And Lord, be with them in the new year. Keep them safe. In your name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Will you do a roll call, please?
Cody Miles,
Here.
Darren Warren,
Here.
Jody C. Reed,
Here.
Keith Higginbotham,
Here.
Justin Calgar.
Justin, do you hear us?
You see him on?
I see him on. I unmuted him. Go ahead, keep on.
Cliff Thompson,
Here. Hey, Matt, do you hear us?
I can hear you. Hey, Bill, I can hear you.
But do you hear us? See him, I'm not hearing him.
Bill, I can hear you.
Matt's just, yeah. I can't hear.
There are
Cal.
experimental treatments. Ongoing research.
Make sure this is set up over here.
Hey, Bill, I can hear you.
Anything going there?
Hey, Bill, can you hear me?
Know what we got? They're hearing this, but I'm not hearing them, so.
Sounds turn on your computer.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, this is all turned on. All right. Probably how we gonna handle that since they can hear us.
Well, I mean, if they can't participate, they can't vote. I don't think they're here.
I mean, Calvert's there, but he can't.
I mean, yeah.
I can put him on the phone though. Hold on. I'll put him on the phone.
It needs to be in such a way that
Yeah, no, I get you. I just want to make sure.
everybody in attendance can hear anything that he would add.
Bill, I can hear you.
Okay, I'm gonna put the speaker up here so we can hear you. I got you on speakerphone.
Hey, welcome to Windows computers instead of Apple.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything we did. All right, let's move on then. All right, so Justin, you can hear him, Brian, when you
I can hear him, but my question would be if the crowd can hear him.
can hear him too? Okay. All right, so we'll move on. All right, so first of all, before we start, I want to recognize, Chloe here on the end. She made me a little card, says, Mayor Bill, you're the greatest. No, doesn't say that, but don't think harder than smarter. Don't say I'm the greatest. But also she did, bring some treats for everybody right there. So, help yourself to the treats and, please and enjoy. They look delicious. So, all right. So with that, first order of business is approval of the minutes from November twelfth, 2024. And this same ones has been in the Dropbox for a little while. Does anybody have any questions, or if not, would someone like to make a motion to adopt those minutes?
I'll make a motion.
Okay, Cody's made a motion. We have a second?
Second.
Second? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, also on here is the minutes from October 8th. There was an error in here that Wendy actually caught. Let me see if I can get there to it. See if I can get down there easier than what I'm trying to do.
Thank you, Wendy.
So there was a resolution talking about a traffic signal right here.
Think.
And down in here, right here where I got my little cursor, it says Highway 102. The original minutes said Sienna Road. And it's actually Sienna Drive. The header was right, the resolution's correct. But we're making a correction here in a minute. So that's the only changes those. I wanted to bring them back forward and re-adopt those or reapprove those. That's the only change to it. So somebody make a motion to reapprove those minutes?
Motion to approve.
Okay, we got a motion from Cliff. Do we have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, next is receipt of the Water and Sewer Commission meeting minutes from October 15th and November 14th. The Planning Commission meeting minutes from November 5th and November 19th. And the Parks and Recreation Advisory Board from November 6th.
So moved.
Okay, we have a motion. We have a second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? All right, next is the financial report and the court report. I'm gonna let Shannon come on up. I take a
Good evening. So we are 92% of the way through the year. We're sitting currently at 91% of expenditures, so we're sitting really good for that. And we're at 104 of revenue, but I don't want you guys to get too excited because we did have a $300,000 grant that we received from the Walton Family Foundation during the month of November that has been put in and that has already been spent. So we're probably sitting about 99 to 100% of revenue. Anything that's left over at the end of the year, we will transfer any overage to our investor fund, which is our savings account, so that we can build interest on it as well.
Any questions for Shannon?
Thanks for answering my questions.
You're very welcome.
And the court report's in there too. I attached that last week, so would somebody make a motion to accept the financial report and the court report? We have a motion, we have a second. All in favor? Any opposed? Next is department reports, and I actually got a couple things I want to do here real quick before we go into those. I'm not walking out. It's not leaving. Did my. So. First of all, I want to bring Darren up to the front. Yeah, photo time. So this is Darren's last meeting. Darren has been serving the city since 2016 as a council member. But a couple of things about Darren that folks might not know. Darren was also on our planning commission for quite a while. I think one time you might have been the chairman, if I remember correctly. So, I'm gonna miss Darren. Darren has a lot of value to our council. And I just want to give you a little presentation. Let's get over here so she can get it. Want to present a little plaque to you. Okay, and also, if anybody wants to say anything on Darren's behalf, you're welcome to come on up or just stand up and speak either way. If not, that's fine.
It'd all be lies.
Appreciate it. All right.
Thank you for serving and also acknowledge Keith.
I'm sure you're gonna
Yeah, oh, yeah.
be presenting him, so thank you both for serving our city, the city we love, and you've done a great job.
Thank you.
Thank you, Derek. And I want to bring up Mr. Higginbotham. I could never say his name right or spell it right for a long time. For a long, long time. It's right there. I mean, but somebody else.
Just spell it right.
Yeah, I got it right this time. So Keith is also leaving us. And a couple things about Keith that some folks might not know about. Keith has served our city council for 33 years. He joined the city council in 1991. He thinks it was 90, but the clerk says it's 91. When he first came on, he was actually appointed from a previous mayor, when Keith done. A couple things, about Keith. Keith also ran a business here. If you ever had a complaint about the city, you go to Plaza Pizza. And that's how I first met him. I wasn't on the council or anything. I was just a new citizen here. But also, we had some flooding problems on my street, which have been mainly corrected. That street flood. Here's Keith walking in the fire department bringing sandbags to the folks. So, and he didn't have to bring on my side street, but the other side, he was out there, giving them sandbags out. And I just appreciate Keith's service because, especially when I first took over as mayor, he's been a lot of wisdom. I've served with this man for 19 years. I served alongside of him on the council and then, as the mayor. So he's been an asset to our city. I think he's done a fantastic job. I hate to see him go, but, that's what it is. So I also want to thank you for your service. And I want to take a picture. And it's spelled right? Okay. And then also I want to give the same opportunity if anyone wants to, come and speak or say any words, please feel free to. Open up a new restaurant. I think he's going to retire. I think he's going to retire. Hey, Chip, this is a big story. Both of them.
I couldn't pass up an opportunity to say something about you and to you. So, you want to sit down because it's going to be a minute.
Y'all don't know, this is my wife.
Today, but most days no.
She's had to put up with a lot of days where I haven't been there because I was here instead of there. A lot of things that I should have been there for. It was not with the council, it was with the fire department.
Comes with the territory.
Just ask any fireman, when is a fire gonna break out? Not the time that you sit down for a holiday meal. Go ahead, I'll turn my back.
Oh.
I'm gonna go back up there too.
Okay. We can get through this.
It's okay if you got it. You got it.
Mayor and council, thank you for the opportunity to speak to my favorite. I read this thing like 40 times. Okay. Mayor and council, thank you for the opportunity to speak to my favorite councilman, Keith Higginbotham. Keith, when we moved to Centerton in 1988, we had no idea how much God would bless us. Raising two amazing children who have gone, gosh, what's the matter? We have raised two amazing children who have gone into careers influenced by your love and heart for service in all you do with your servant leadership. We have also watched our four even more amazing grandchildren grow and start to make their way into this crazy world. I have no doubt they will leave their leadership mark as well because of having you as a wonderful role model as their papa. While this election did not have the outcome we wanted, let's remember that God's timing is perfect and he makes no mistakes. You have dedicated half your life to this city and built a legacy of accomplishments that has set us up for a very bright future. Your wisdom highlights, although some may call them gray hairs, are a testament to how much you have a heart for our community and want only the best for our citizens, working tirelessly on their behalf. I know you will continue to be as involved as ever in what is happening in our growing city, earning even more of those wisdom highlights. I have to say, I am looking forward to seeing the next chapter God has in store for us, as I have faith that He will continue to bless us beyond measure. I have known you for 47 years, married to you for 45 of those years, and we will step into our future together that God has planned for us. I will do my best not to contribute to your wisdom highlights, but I make no promises. And what would the fun be in that? In closing, I want to thank those who have come to this meeting tonight in support and recognition of your years of unwavering dedication, service to Centerton. Now, Mayor and Council, I'm going to approach the council bench, and I'm going to give my favorite councilman a hug.
Thought I was a favorite councilman.
I'm too.
I'll follow that up, but I'd like to say something about Keith and Darren, if you don't mind.
Yeah, go right ahead, sir.
I remember when I first started looking at council a few years ago, and I was asking questions of why and what, and these two gentlemen that have served the city so well were always so resourceful. They'd answer questions, and many don't know just how passionate both of them are about the city of Centerton. And I know that Keith's put literally blood, sweat, and tears into the city. Volunteering in the fire department, serving for years, serving at the pantry. Darren always, continuing to look at the way we do things in the city. So, these guys are both trailblazers, and so I appreciate, just being able to sit alongside and learn from you guys over the last couple of years. And so cheering both of you on and to what's next. And Keith, I'll come give you a hug, maybe not as sweet as that last one over the next couple of weeks, but we're really thankful for you guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Justin. Anyone else? I know Cindy said something the first time when she talked, but do you got anything else, Cindy?
I just want to say, again, I was going to say something, but your wife is more than overwhelmed anything I could possibly say. But Darren and Keith, both, please, as a citizen, please do not become strangers to these meetings. You have way too much knowledge and understanding of this community, and we will all continue to be able to benefit from that if you will please continue to be with us. Thank you.
Thank you, Christian.
Thank you.
Okay. So
Not on, I could hardly hear him.
it's on.
Okay.
Yeah, it's turned on. I'm about to get the AT guy out of here. Something's happening. All right, so with that, department reports are in there too. And most of the department heads are here, but anybody have any questions on those? All right, so next is public comment. I know we've already had some comments, but does anybody want to come and address the council on anything? Chris? One more time. One more time.
I'll be brief and totally unrelated. I thought I'd just give the council an update on the chamber since it's making progress.
Okay.
We're up to about 40 members, including the Bentonville Schools, Black Hills, my friends at Builders First Source, the largest building products distributor in the country. McClarity Daniels just joined, Arbest, First National Bank, and a large number of other, obviously there's 40 members now. We've had a third breakfast and brew last week. It's averaging about 20 folks every time. Keith, you've been there the last couple of times, you know what I'm talking about. I think it's becoming more than people were expecting, and it's going to continue to grow. The first dinner for the chamber is the 17th of April. It's going to be at the Ravington. They were happy to host it, and they are members of the chamber. At some point, I'm going to come back again and suggest that the city develop some type of relationship other than Josie and Nicola forward with the council as the other cities have with their various chamber of commerce. Second, And I'll come back in January, February for that. Second, it was suggested to me by Thomas Lockley over breakfast on Saturday that it would be a good thing to start a process of at least an annual review of the financials, the taxes, how they come into the city and how they're spent from the city and held in a public forum so that the folks can say, yeah, now we understand, or at least we can't say we don't understand because you've been given an opportunity for the mayor and other people in the financial administration of the city, the council, et cetera, to give people an open forum to understand where the taxes come, understand that property taxes don't have much impact on the city budget, but Bill, you always get blamed for higher.
Blame for everything, yes.
I know, but if we did something like that, maybe it would bring more understanding.
One step ahead of you. I was gonna do something at the next meeting because we have 2 more new council members, so I was gonna do that at that meeting.
Yeah, but I'm talking about something for these citizens.
Well, they'll be at this meeting, public.
Again, okay, we're on the same page.
Yeah, no, I planned on that. I want everybody to understand where it does come from. Name, address, we know it, but
Wendy Henson, 368 North B Street. I first want to just acknowledge Cody Harper and the Centerton Police Department. This week I've had the opportunity to be, well, it was Saturday. Officer Bridenstine and I got together with some of the domestic violence victims, families, and we were able to, the community came together and gave some money. We kept it confidential. We've raised about $600 to support 3 kids that are victims from Centerton Cares, victims of the trauma that happened in their family. And so I want to acknowledge Cody and the police department for Officer Bridenstine and for this new venture of supporting our folks that are going through that. As a mental health therapist, it's such a huge heart thing for me to see that these families are being started outside of just from the police aspect and also being able to give them Christmas. So I also want to take a moment and recognize Aaron and Keith. Thank you for your service. I look forward to serving the city, but I appreciate and respect both of you. So thank you.
anyone else? All right, for the record, Justin Calgary's dropped off the call. He's told us all to have a good night, so he won't be back. So, I mean, I just want her to know that for the minutes. All right, so all that, thank you all for the public comment and the kind words, Virginia. You even brought a tear to my eye. That's hard to do with me, but you did great. It was great. Everyone spoke very nicely. Thank you. All right, so moving on. Would someone like to make a motion? to read ordinance 2024-32, 33, 34, 35, 36, and resolution 2024-37, 38, and 39 by title only.
So moved.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
Okay, Nicola, can you do a roll call on that?
Cody Miles,
Yes.
Darren Warren,
Yes.
Joyce Reed. Yes. Keith Higginbotham.
Yes, ma'am.
Chris Thompson.
Yes.
Okay, and would someone like to make a motion to suspend a rule requiring to read on 3 separate occasions? Ordinance 2024-32, 33, 34, 35, 36.
So moved.
We have a motion. We have a second. Okay, roll call.
Cody Miles,
Yes.
Darren Warren,
Yes.
Joyce Reed. Yes. Keith Higginbotham.
Yes, ma'am.
Chris Thompson.
Yes.
All right, so our first ordinance is ordinance 2024-32. This is a rezone of property located at Bliss Street and Keller Road. This is on the southeast corner. This is just right up the street from our old water department where the maintenance facility is. This was brought to the last 2 planning commission meetings ago. And they did approve it, or they did recommend forward it to the city council for approval. They did have a public hearing. There was no public comments reference to the rezone. There was a concern with an easement, but the engineer and the property owner spoke and they got that worked out. So, but it had nothing to do with the rezone. So looking at this, here's a map of the area. This big area where my little plus sign is right there, where that first arrow is. They want to rezone this to R3 single family. There's 6 acres there, which is consistent with what's across the street and right next to it. And then this other little piece, which is less than an acre, they want to rezone it from A1 to R3 multifamily, which is consistent with what's actually less dense than what's to the west of it, which is RTH5. So that's where we're at, and like I said, Planning Commission recommended it for approval. Any questions from the council?
Yes. So when you look at the future land use
Mhm.
and where the land's been zoned, a lot of it went to be low, medium density, and we've done high density. Has there been an impact review done of changing to high density from the proposed?
No, this zoning, this RTH is, hang on a minute.
Not that one specifically, but I'm talking all the lots around. When you look up, they were supposed to be low to medium, and we've zoned them high density, medium to high. So I'm just asking in general, at what point are we overloading that area from the review that's been done?
We have not done anything. I know the planning commission is looking at the land use plan, so. Is that right, Diane?
Yeah, and the low to medium.
You want to come up so they can hear you?
Shall
Yeah, come on up here.
my foot's not asleep. I'm trying to get up. Yeah, in the land use plan that is medium high density residential. The area a little bit further to the east is the low to medium, so this falls under the medium to high. And that is basically, in the comprehensive plan, that would be considered up to 11 units per acre for the medium high density, the medium high density. High density is like up to 18 units. That's your full blown like apartment complexes, things like that.
So I guess my point is where you look at all the yellow on the future land use, a lot of that's actually orange, where it's actually been zoned.
Mhm.
So with it all being zoned high density, I guess, is there a tipping point of evaluation of the infrastructure? Can it handle the increase to the medium high versus where it was originally suggested to be zoned? And not that specific lot, I'm just saying in general, at what point is that area overloaded in general due to going high density instead of sticking to the plan?
That one, according to the plan.
No, I understand that one, but the concern is at what point due to us not following the plan elsewhere in a lot of that area, when does it become a concern from the infrastructure?
From the infrastructure standpoint, we didn't look at that as much with the land use plan, other than including roads for the future master street plan to improve the area there. But, like I said, that is, a medium high density residential area to the east. A lot of that was considered the low to medium because it already exists. It's already built out area.
Yeah, but we've zoned it high density instead of low medium. So
This zoning here is
Zoned
medium high.
medium,
on the right is the future, right?
correct,
Okay, the yellow is the low to medium. Correct?
correct.
Okay, on the left is where we've zoned the lands, which all the brown right there, R3SF is high density.
No, it's still a medium high density.
Well, medium high, whereas it would, before it was built for low medium. All the yellow's low medium, we're going medium high.
Because with the comprehensive plan,
Yes.
it doesn't match what our current zoning is. So our zoning is much lower than what they consider medium high. Because like with our R3 single family, that's a density of 6 units per acre.
Okay,
The comprehensive plan considers that the low to medium
okay,
density. So there's a disconnect with those, that's something when we look at updating the land use plan, that we fix that
okay.
with the zoning. So there's kind of a disconnect where the R3 isn't a high density, it's a medium
Okay,
density residential.
no, good to know, thank you.
Okay, so sorry, it took a kind of a long.
Yeah, no.
I was like, okay, wait.
I don't know the right way to ask the questions either, so.
I also want to add, this is a continuation. There is a subdivision just to the east of this property. This is a continuation of that process, subdivision.
Correct.
I forgot to mention that, sorry.
And Cody, what,
Fox Haven.
also something that kind of makes it the land use and where we are now is what's it been, couple, 3 years that we changed the how we break the zoning down. It's just been, but the land use was set and then we changed how it made it, how am I trying to say this? A
Kind of-
fit or a
Right, but there's,
more definition.
there is a little bit of, because like with our R3 single family, it used to be you could come in, you would have to request a zoning, but it's all R1 and you could do apartments. Well, we changed that because that created kind of craziness on that one. So we created the R4 density, which is the highest density, 18 units per acre, unless they do a planned unit development. So that way we have to put conditions on them as far as open space and things like that that are required.
Okay,
And we are working to, because really we thought like their density for the medium high, really too high compared to what our zoning is. So that is something we're working to kind of straighten out this coming up year.
okay.
Since this year is almost over. I don't know where it went.
Well, thank you for explaining.
Any other questions? I'm up here. Okay, thanks.
All right, any more questions? That's a good question. That's a good discussion.
No, good to know too.
Yeah, no, it is good to know, yes. Anyone else? No. Counselor?
City of Centerton ordinance number 2024-32, an ordinance to rezone certain lands within the Centerton city limits belonging to Steel Development Incorporated from agricultural A1 to medium high density single family residential R3SF and medium high density multifamily residential R3MF.
Somebody make a motion to adopt ordinance 2024-32.
No move.
We have a motion from Keith. We have a second? Second from Clint. Roll call. Nicole?
Cody Miles,
Yes.
Darren Warren,
Yes.
Josie P.
Yes.
Keith Higginbotham.
Yes, ma'am.
Thompson.
Yes. All right, I've got some representatives from Water and Sewer here for this next one. But let me kind of give an overview of this ordinance. This next one is ordinance 2024-33. This is an ordinance update the schedule of fees, deposits, and other charges for the Centerton Water and Sewer Department. So what they are proposing, and I did send this to the council, Bob. They've already have all this. They are proposing a 45-cent increase on the residential rate. Part of that is the provider where we get the water from rates at 25 cents. And then the other 20 cents was more for I believe they said salaries or operating cost. And then also the commercial, they want to raise 75 cents per 1,000 gallons, which is actually lower than residential. They're all listed there. And also on the base rates, they are proposing an increase just on the base rates for commercial. And then sewer, there was no increase from Decatur, but they do want to add the 20 cents in there for operating maintenance salaries. And then they're going to add a new $25 new customer transfer administration fee. And then on tap fees, they are going to go, most of them up 500 to 700. They're right there listed for you. And then also, there was a discussion and one of the members of the board asked for the rates of surrounding cities. So there they are. I mean, I provided those to you too. And this will show you, where they're at. And they did talk a little bit about it, then they took no further action and they moved on, and the commission voted 4-1 to move this forward. So with that, Bob or your financial guy or Malcolm or Josh, does anybody have anything to add to this? I'm not seeing any. Council, you have any questions?
So didn't we do a rate increase earlier this year?
Yes. Yes, we did.
Here's the man that's gonna give you the answer.
Mm.
Let me put the schedule up there. I might show it easier for us.
Well, I understand we can't even get around the 25 cents. When I look at meeting minutes that y'all have, I don't see where y'all have tackled really this 30 to 35% loss per month. Y'all are coming to us, wanting us to approve an increase. And I get, we can't do anything about 25 cents, but we already raised the rates once. But we still got all these leaks, so are we just paying for water to run into the ground? I mean, it's hard for me to vote for anything if we're not tackling an issue. I mean,
We added a crew that specifically is addressing repairing leaks.
Mhm.
Okay. And they are addressing it. They're attacking it as quickly as possible. All right. We are also going to add in 2025, we're advertising a contract, an indefinite quantity contract for leak repair. But yes, we are attacking it. Our 30, it's been running about 33% for the last few months, is running a little bit less than some of the other cities, a whole lot of the cities in Northwest Arkansas. Okay, but in Bentonville, 2 months ago, your house had a 50% water loss. And had a 50% water loss and had been averaging that for a number of months. Okay, so I believe that we're making progress. But you can't, takes time, takes effort. You gotta keep manpower on board. And, but we are attacking it as hard as we can within the resources we have. And so that's the, I understand your concern. It's our concern too, and that's what we're trying to do.
Yeah, because everybody in here is paying for that water just running into the ground.
That's right.
You know, I mean,
That's right.
I think, there are not a whole lot of people here, but I'm sure we got a rate increase earlier this year, another rate increase being asked for now, and people are probably gonna be like, well, what are we paying for? You know?
We're trying our best to provide the best possible water service to all people. Now,
And is it because our system's gotten too large? Because we got this huge water district that we're serving all these people all over western Denton County that just building too many water lines, and that's why we got so many leaks? Cause I know other communities, that was their problem. They had so many water lines, they couldn't keep up with them anymore. They were just building too much.
one of the problems that we've come across is this, that we had for a number of the service line that runs from the connection to the water distribution line to the household meter. The piping that we used for that has reached its end of its useful life. And so we are having to replace it, literally hundreds of those. And, some make it good, some don't, but that's the issue that we're having. And you can only dig so many trenches with the manpower, with manpower. And we now realize that that's the case.
So could I make a comment in regards to the team that you hired specifically to go out and do the leak checks? I mean, this information is great. This is awesome. I love seeing the breakout, the comparison to other areas. But with Darren, I'd like to know where these water leaks are at, maybe how that team is doing. And an update that you've got for that as far as how that team is doing, what leaks they're finding, how they're fixing them. Is there any savings there? It sounds like there may be a bit.
They're in the minutes.
Okay,
All that information is in the minutes as to how many leaks they're fixing.
okay. And where they're fixing the leaks.
Well, I can tell you where they're fixing it right now. The primary focus is over here at Tamron.
Okay, and that's what we thought of originally, I believe. That was it.
That's our first priority.
That was the first priority, correct?
We have identified the most leaks.
Yeah.
Where we're working, we're getting at it.
Okay. And then the schedule to continue, you could probably got a schedule. They're gonna do this area, then this area, and this area. Is that, okay?
So we're staff prioritizing it.
Cause I'm with Darren. I feel like we just presented a rate increase and now we're presenting another rate increase. And I understand that if we're being billed this, it's hard not to pass that on. It's the additional expenses that I'm struggling with. And being able to share that with the citizens here.
Utilities costs go, our utility costs go up
Sure.
to remain, to be able to retain and attract personnel. We've had to raise our salary schedule, we've had to change our wage scale. You have, but everything you think of, supplies have gone up in cost. And that 20 cents, in addition to the 25-cent increase from our contributor, that 20 cents represents only about a 2.5% increase.
Well, I got a question. I'm sitting there looking at this 583 that we have right now. I'm not mistaken. This time last year, we were only paying 465. I thought we had 2 rate increases last year. Oh, we did one in January, one in July. I mean, they're saying 1, but I thought we had 2
Yeah, I
last
think
year.
we had two.
Oh, do we have to?
Yeah, one was 65 cents and the other one was something else. And then I have another question. I'm looking at your irrigation rate. The irrigation rate, not yours, but that rate. I'm just curious why irrigation is going to go up more than this regular residential. Because you're going to raise it 55 cents versus the 45 cents.
Yeah.
Just curious.
Because it's water that's being put on the ground.
I don't understand what that means.
You want to have, if you want to irrigate your lawn,
Yeah.
We charge more.
we're gonna charge you.
The benefit to that is you don't get charged the
You
sewer.
don't get charged the sewer. Yeah, you're right. You're right.
All of these changes in rates and the fees, all are the result of, a comprehensive review of one, what are the costs and what changes we can make to try to cover those costs. Our system is 95% residential. Because of that, there's not very many things that you can do to increase revenues significantly. So if we were to hike up the price for water more for agriculture or public entities and commercial more than what we've proposed, the yield is not that great in terms of the total revenue stream that it takes to operate the utilities. If you look at our rates, comparative
All the cities there, I put the green for you. They have it too.
We have it too.
what we found was that we're not the most expensive, not the cheapest. We're just in the middle someplace. And we're getting there. Yeah.
I've got a question.
Good.
And this is one that I've had for a while. Why don't we raise the rates for the people outside the city higher and less for the people inside the city?
Okay, if you'll look at the,
I understand that outside city pays more than inside the city, but if we're gonna make a rate increase, let's charge the people that don't, if they want cheaper rates, they can come into the city. And I understand we're our neighboring cities can't service people that they annex into their city. And then those people, the only way they're gonna get water is to come to Centerton.
Because 18 years ago, more than that. Probably 22 years ago, this city borrowed money to build rural distribution lines. Okay? And in 2015, I believe it was, we were offered the opportunity to buy the rural water system that runs to the north and the west of the city, which we did. And, but we have structured the rates for the people outside the city. That's for water. Okay.
Well, I know that we, as a city, we've always tried to, part of the annexation process is you have to service the area you're annexing into. And I think if it wasn't for the fact that Centerton puts the water into some of these places, Centerton's area, city limits would be a lot bigger than what it is. And one of our neighboring cities would be a lot less than what it is. Because
If you have a subdivision, if somebody wants to develop property in the rural part of the country, rural part of the county, and they want sewer, they'll have to annex. Okay, that's it, pure and simple. And,
we're not servicing to some other, like, I'll just say it, are we not servicing water to a lot of Bentonville residents?
we are servicing water to people that are in our water service area. Some of them have Bentonville addresses.
Well, but they're also in the city limits of Bentonville.
They are now, but they weren't when those water lines were put in. And that was agricultural property. The water lines were run out there when it was agricultural property.
I don't
Before-
believe there's been any new people added in the recent years that have not been city limits, correct?
No.
Okay, it's people that are being.
Josh, come on up. No,
Yes.
they can hear you and then we can pick you up on the microphone.
It's just, I think Keith, just to answer that question. They have in the past, because I've had the same question. There's no new people that are being added and we're not it's a small minority that are not within the city limits. They're on that. Are there some? Yeah, it's a small minority though. Bob, do you mind if I just talk about this for a minute?
Yeah, go ahead. Joshua and I
Okay.
don't know this.
So I am the one dissent. I voted no on the budget. The reason I voted no on the budget is I felt like questions weren't answered. That's why I voted no. And requested that I meet, and Bob met with me afterward, went over the budget. You have the 2025 budget that was given to you. If you want to look at that, I'm just going to run through it quick, hit highlights. This helped me, and this is based on the raise. And I think it brings in, it highlights what the water and sewer department are seeing, commissioner are seeing as the need. If you look at the top line here, the 4,514,000 right there, that's funds that were coming in. We're starting fiscal 2025 with those funds. Most of those, Bob, I believe, are back 605, correct?
Oh, no,
It's all that stuff right there. It's stuff to pay. We'll get into that here in a minute. But that's what we're coming into the year with. And yet you're gonna see how that is going to be used, okay? And then we'll have more. The revenue coming in, if you look at all of that, we end up with 17 million in revenue. with all that right there. Now we go through the operating expense. Again, I'm just trying to hit the highlights so we don't bore them. Go through the operating expense down, the total operating expense is right at 14 million. Okay, so 13,922, so just right at 14 million. Okay. And that's of the 17 million, all right, that we've got coming in. And then after you take all of that off, the gain, everything left over, 5,760,000 is what's before we start paying our debt services. So the commission then starts paying the bonds, all the debt services they have. And out of that, in the end, is left with $57,602. That's what's left in the account. Now, you do have the money from the top end. If you go down below it, the supplementary stuff there ends up with the deposit of $5.4 million. Now, all of that, when I sat down with Bob, I said, okay, why do we, got this, why can't we use this? The stuff that's not included in this is the 102 acquisition, when the widening, we're gonna have to pay $9 million to move all those utilities. Now, about 6 million of that, we're estimating that RDOT's gonna pay us back. Okay, so we're gonna have a $3 million loan taken out on all of that. All right, that's what we're estimating in the end to get that done. Also, the downtown water and sewer estimated around $1 million, not included in the budget, as well as the Osage lift station around 1.3 million that's not included in this budget. Those are things that are still gonna have to be paid for, and yet you're looking at this and the commission's coming around with 57,000 in the end. I'll be up there next year. I have my own questions as to how all this goes, and I think more questions need to be answered. And I hope you have them and you do ask them, and I will too. As it goes to this though, I mean, when you're looking at the proposed budget, stuff, it's the money is being put out there and paying for things. Do I believe there's room for improvement? Absolutely. And yet I am seeing what Bob's saying. So that's all I wanted to say.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And we are working very hard to attack the leak problem. We know that, that's been a problem for years. We spent a lot of money on it. We continue to spend money on it. But that crew that we had this year to attack leaks will cost us next year about $235,000. About $275,000 this year because of startup costs.
In reality, though, you'd be saving money because you're losing 33% of your spend.
30% of the water.
Right. We purchase, right? So that's 33% loss off the top, which would be based on those numbers you just showed, about 1.4 million, I guess is my quick math. So you're gonna save 1.2 million if you fix the leaks.
And it will probably take about $3 million to fix it.
Okay.
Okay?
So I don't know, it just seems.
We're attacking it as best we can, all the possibilities we can come up with. But we're gonna have to invest in fixing the leaks. We believe we have a plan to do that. And that's what this budget will support. Okay? But to fix the leaks, we're gonna have to put money out.
Alright. I'm here to go against the water and sewer department, because I'm tired of hearing about rate increases and everybody struggling with life. And then each time they keep coming up here, we're not hearing the whole stories from them. We got 4 subdivisions right now that cannot get water and sewer. There's fixing to be more. We take sewer from the city of Highville. And I want to hear the whole story from this water and sewer commission. If they cannot tell you the whole story, the water and sewer commission needs to be dissolved and you all need to take them over. And that's my 2 cents into all this. And I'm tired of the citizens getting taken advantage of.
Thank you. Thank you, Matt. I'm sorry the fire chief feels that way.
Well, the retaliation to this, he's gonna start charging us for water for training. I'm just telling you that right now. So I'll need that in the budget. Well, everybody else would get up and not just send me text, tell them your opinion. And we'll stand up. We cannot be rode by the water circle. Everybody stand up and tell them what your opinion is. And look at their act on it.
We've asked the fire department to account for their water use.
To the mayor, from the water and sewer commission, if it does not happen, we see it every day. We see it in department meetings and everything. So if y'all would please stand up and tell them that we see this.
We've asked the fire department to account for their water usage. For training and whatever other purposes they have. So that we can. That becomes part of that 33% loss. We're trying to account for that. Okay. And we haven't said anything about charging the fire department. One of them. We just need to know what it is so we can account for it and we can come back to you and say, hey, this is how many thousands of gallons are being used. By the fire department.
Bob, I guess my response to that is if you're on a fire, you don't have a meter that you can put out there to tell you how many gallons of water is being used.
We'll take a good estimate. Okay, we'll take an estimate.
You got, I mean, we don't have. Normally, there's at least 3 departments that are toned to a fire. We go to other towns and they come to us. It's, so it's awful hard to judge how much, if you have a meter that you carried around, that would be one thing, but normally what happens is if you go to a fire before you leave, you fill up your trucks. So, and while you're there, you're using water off of the nearest hydrant or off of a tanker. The tanker comes from whatever cities supply the tankers, and it's hard to know how many gallons of water you use on a fire.
If we've asked for an estimate.
I think it's getting kind of
I agree.
side roaded here. I don't think the fire department's water usage is a major issue with what's going on.
But they also get a report from me every month.
Yes.
Okay, so again, we can go down that road and yet that's not the issue at hand. I mean.
No, the issue at hand is they keep raising our rates.
I agree, 100%.
And then we have sewer coming from other cities and our city's shut down, just like what Keith asked for a minute ago. We have main water sewer lines running in other cities. We have a main sewer line that we just built out there to the southwest of the house, and we are collecting Highfield city limits. And now it's affecting us. Why do we want to affect our own city? We're the ones wanting to grow. City limits of the Centerton, not the city limits of Highfield, not the county. Everything that we do should be about our residents and taking care of the people around here. And we're not doing that.
So when I sit in, when I sit in on the commission meetings, it is about the citizens. We actually just turned down this past year, an entire subdivision. They wanted Centerton, water and sewer. We said no, because they didn't want, well, actually they wanted, without getting terrible details here, they could not become part of the city. We said, become part of the city, we'll give it to you. They told them no. We set up a, process for somebody outside that if they wanted it, they had to go through the process, which basically tells them they're not going to get it without becoming part of the city, annexing in. The process does. So we're not interested in working with people outside the city limits.
Are we taking sewer from Highfield?
Yes, we are.
Thank you.
Only because they had a very bad situation.
We have a very bad situation. We have subdivisions shut down that we cannot take sewer from right now. So who was more important, the city of Highfield's bad situation or city of Centerton's
The
bad?
city of Highfield is getting their they got a project ongoing and they're going to be disconnecting from us in the coming years.
Is it affecting us right now? Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
Do we have
Not
4
that-
subdivisions shut down right now?
Not that I'm aware of.
I'm not aware of that.
Yes, we do.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
To me, that's
That-
not
that-
a
that-
problem.
Okay,
That's a.
but the issue that you're, okay, please. The issue of subdivisions is we are trying to address with the state health department. Now, I'm gonna
You
tell.
told me that you didn't know about these and now you know that they're being addressed.
No,
So
we
this
were
is
not-
where we
I
have
was
to-
not aware.
All right, calm down, everybody. I think Diane, let Diane chime in. I think she's gonna be able to answer your question.
Yeah, we do have 4 subdivisions that have started construction. One is very close to being able to final. They can't get water and sewer.
Is
And
this
it's just
because of
phase one.
Decatur? Is this because of Decatur?
It is,
Because of sewer.
Is it because of Decatur? I'm asking.
it is
you.
because ADH says that we do not
Okay,
have.
peace. All right,
It's about Decatur.
you heard that.
Nope.
Arkansas Department of Health says that we can't connect those subdivisions. The reason for that is the Arkansas Department of Health measures the impact of those subdivisions using a 1908, quote, the year 1908 standard of 100 gallons per person per day for wastewater. And we have demonstrated, that we have data that we're presenting to the health department that shows that we are using about 45 gallons per person per day. It's been measured, it's been metered, and we are attempting to get the state health department to back off the 100 gallons per minute per day standard, 100 gallons per day person, okay? Right? It's an issue that we have been working on. We've got it measured, we're negotiating. It's a case of bureaucracy. Okay, not the capacity.
No, the point, I just proved it in the past 5 minutes, that you knew about this and you're not telling the truth. I mean, this was obvious. Josh knew about it and he admitted to it.
What
I will agree with the flaw in the way that they calculate the program. I agree with that. But when the state health department tells us something, that's kind of the law. They are the state. And until they agree, this is the way it is. And right now, us taking in more sewer from the city of Hineville is affecting us. Because we dump to, even if it's the calculation, if it's the plant in, if it's line size, if it's the plant in Decatur, anything still affects the city of Centerton. And it's still on you all because we have a commission to take care of us as a city.
We're trying our best.
And I agree.
I mean-
With what you said. The city of Centerton is in a peculiar situation because Decatur's wastewater has put us there. As far as the 4 subdivisions, I don't know what they are. I know that we are actively, the commission is actively looking for alternate routes because within the last 2 months, we were notified that basically Decatur is reaching capacity, putting it short. And so we are actively looking to where can we go? It's gonna take time. It's gonna happen. I would imagine that's what's causing the root issue of what you're
100%. I
talking.
mean, we're either gonna have to increase that plant, we're gonna have to put more Holden, or we're gonna have to go to NACA, or there's all kinds of stuff, and everything there is, I agree, it's gonna take millions to fix this. The problem is, I wanna know as a citizen, and everyone's gonna look at this as a fire chief, but I wanna know as a citizen that you all are doing what you're supposed to be doing with my money. And I don't feel that way right now.
With all due respect, I would like to table this because obviously there needs to be more information brought to surface here until the next meeting.
I think that's fine. I'm good with that. And I just want to close with saying this, as a citizen, I agree with you. Okay?
I mean,
That's why
no
on
matter
the,
what we look at, no matter what I do, if I go to the grocery store, my wife can tell you, she's a teacher, I'm the fire chief. This grocery store, when they came out with delivery, is awesome because I get stopped so many times. She gets stopped because grocery store takes us 3 times as long. And so no matter what I say, they're gonna look at me as the fire chief. no matter what.
We got a motion on the table?
Yes, I motion.
Thanks for-
Table to next.
Something along with that motion. Can I ask something on the motion? Then we find out the information, you let us know the information needs to be answered. Like, can we make it that way and not be? I want the commission itself to know what they need to answer. I know there are some outside things, we could go in 50 different directions.
Specifically what our chief brought up, you know, about the water, about the waste and that type of information.
It'll be written out so the commission knows exactly. I'm actually, after this one, I'll be there, but
Right.
I would like for it to be almost a checklist. They can go down and answer your questions.
I think I'm to the point to where just bringing light to what was brought just here. This is like new information for me.
There was a lot of, I'm gonna call it fluff because of the fact that I think we need to get past the cloud and
Right.
the meat of it. And that's why I'm asking for those kind of questions.
So I got a question since you're standing up here.
Okay.
So a couple months ago, you were talking about, or not you, but the commission was talking about, hey, we might need to get our state legislature involved. And I was at that meeting and I said, hey, if you need my help, set that up. I've not heard a word from anybody. You know, I mean, cause I told you I can get Jim Dotson to help us out. I can probably get Bart Hester, Mindy McElinden, our state reps, if that's what we need to do. Because it sounds like, and I'm not trying to be rude or negative, but we're going in circles. Cause this has been happening since about, April, May. And, we have contractors call me all the time, Bill, we gotta do something here. We gotta do something. And, we assure them that the water and sewer, cause I go to all your meetings. I said, they're working on it. I know they talk about when the election's over, we might be doing something. The election's over. Not this election, but probably another election somewhere. It had nothing to do with this election, but yeah, no, listen. I mean, I agree with Matt and what he's saying. I mean, we need to get some answers for these developers because we're getting pounded in here. And I know Diane is too. And they need answers, because they're putting millions and millions and millions of dollars, just like you're putting millions of dollars in infrastructure. And we all got to be working together. We need to be meeting. Maybe we need to meet more with Decatur because, I'm sitting here and I usually get blamed for everything. But is anybody even watching the capacity in Decatur? I mean, because this didn't happen overnight. I know Simmons is there and I understand they do about 60% of this. If I remember your conversations, we do about 30 and then I think Decatur, has the rest, but we got to stop circling around here and get a solution for this thing. I mean, whatever it is. And if you need me to help you with the legislatures, I will do that. I can't help you with ADH, I don't think, but.
There was a meeting held recently.
What?
Their meeting was held recently with the
Decatur.
the Senator Pro Tem.
Oh, okay.
Legislature. He was briefed on this issue. Along with other folk. And we are leaning on Decatur to move forward as quickly as they can. They have their engineering consultant left the firm that he was with. And so they're having to seek another engineer. Okay, but we are pushing on Decatur to move quickly on getting their permit modified. And which will bring some relief. And we're still, and we are looking actively at finding other alternative treatment means. Okay.
Bentonville, NACA, we
Bentonville,
looked through Highfill, which that way too expensive.
Yeah.
Push the other way. Several alternatives that have been looked at actually financially.
I did keep these folks involved, communicate and we keep these citizens, especially these contractors too, because they're the ones pounding us. And I feel Matt's frustration because he's actually helping us with building inspections now. And I know he's hearing it. And I know Diane's hearing it, every day, and Lorraine and all them. So we need to just work together and get this resolved.
Yeah, and I think,
work on improving the communication.
yeah, I think that's one of the questions, Joshua. We asked for questions, these 4 subdivisions. Why do they not have water and sewer? What's holding that up?
The health department is using the 1908 standard. We have actual factual data that shows that the usage is not 100 gallons per person per day, but 45 gallons per person per day.
And that's where we,
And that bureaucrat down there at the state health department is the problem.
Nick involved, if he's our new representative for this area next year to. try to-
Dotson too.
Pass
Dotson could
the
help.
state-
And I have met with, Representative, Representative-elect, Burks, and thoroughly briefed him on this particular issue.
Well, we had a motion. I'll second to table the item. I won't be here next month, so all you council members will have to tackle this issue next
He'll
month.
be here.
I'm gonna say something, because I will go against them whenever I can. Whenever I feel like it's wrong, but what he just said about the factual data. And they are using an old standard, that 100% is true. But we have to still go with what they say. But I wanted to come up and say that this data he is telling you is true, even though I will go against them.
Figure a way to get the state to accept that.
I wanted to say that
Try
that
to
is
get the
true.
state to accept it.
State to accept it. Let's move on. And Bob, you guys need my help. I mean, I'll help you with the legislature. I made it offer 2 months ago. We're there. All right, so back to the business at hand. We do have a motion to table it. And I think Darren seconded, right?
Yes.
Darren seconded. Any more discussion? Nicole, I don't want, I had to think, I don't want to call you sir.
Todd will pass.
Not it? No, this is Nicole, would you go ahead and do a roll call, please?
Cody Miles.
Yes.
Darren Warren.
Yes.
Josie Reed. Yes. Keith Higginbotham.
Yes, ma'am.
Cliff Thompson.
Yes. All right, our next ordinance is ordinance 2024-34, and this is approving the 2025 budget. This is basically what everything we did talk about in our budget work session. The only thing we did is, myself and Shannon, Drew Button, we looked through the finances and we looked at the current revenues and things and, was able to readjust the revenues and now we're we're good, which I knew we would be. We're just waiting, until the last minute to get that in there. So nothing else has changed on it. And this is what we discussed in the meeting. Any questions? Counselor?
Ordinance number 2024-34, an ordinance approving and adopting a budget for the operation of the city of Centerton, Arkansas for the calendar year 2025.
Someone like make a motion to adopt ordinance 2024-34.
So moved.
We have a motion. We have a second?
Second.
Second. Roll call, Nicole.
Cody Miles.
Yes.
Yes.
Josie Reed. Yes. Keith Higginbotham.
Yes, ma'am.
Thompson.
Yes.
All right, our next ordinance is ordinance 2024-35. This is the review of the mayor's salary. So this was put in an ordinance back when the city brought on a full-time mayor back in 2007. And in this ordinance, it does say, compensation for the office of mayor is to be reviewed at the first meeting, the first regularly scheduled meeting, December, for the adequate compensation. And each year, the council has raised it basically. So this is a discussion. If y'all want to raise it, leave it alone, whatever y'all want to do is up to you. The current salary for the mayor that I'm receiving is $97,681.46. With the 4% that's in the budget, it would bring it to 101,588.72, if that's what the council desired to do, or whatever you want to do. So that's up for discussion for you all. And then we'll do the same thing for the clerk's salary too.
Okay, so I'll open up for discussion. I believe that there needs to be a raise here. I believe that the mayor has done what he's said he was gonna do. He's taking care of the city. We're in financial good condition. So I believe that there does need to be a raise. We start at 4%. We can discuss. I mean, just kind of where I'm looking.
I second a 4%. I mean, I feel that's fair based upon the other avenues that we've looked at and amongst the other departments and it's just standard business within a position, in my opinion.
Keith?
I'm good.
Cliff?
I think I agree that 4% would probably be the best route. to be consistent with what we did with the other city employees this year.
All right. So that brings it to 101,588.72. That's 4%.
Josie, you're making this as, that is a motion.
Yes, I'll make it as a motion.
I'll second.
Second. Yes, read it and then we'll.
All right, ordinance number 2024-35, an ordinance amending Centerton Municipal Code, section 2.14.03, titled compensation.
Someone like to make motion to adopt ordinance 2024-35 with a salary of 101,588.72.
Yes. I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
And a second. Go with it, please.
Cody Miles.
Yes.
Darren Warren.
Yes.
Josie Reed.
Yes.
Keith Higginbotham.
Yes, ma'am.
Thompson.
Yes.
All right, this next one is same principle. Several years ago, we did make this the city clerk a salary position. Right now, he is at 18,083.77. This is a part-time position. And with 4% for him, it would be 18,807.12. And I will tell you, Todd does a great job for us, and I would personally recommend the 4%, but that's, again, a discussion with the council. I mean, I work with him more on a regular basis, and I feel he does a great
Yeah,
job.
I would agree with that. I mean, when I've seen him here, he's working hard, and so I would agree with that 4%.
I would too.
There it is. Good. All right. Counselor?
Do we have a motion and second?
Well, you gotta read the title, then we'll do that. Yeah, we're doing them all by title.
Okay, so you guys are messing with me now. I'm looking at the cookies.
Go get you one, man, while we're doing a roll call.
May get some more.
Plenty, I think there's plenty more.
Ordinance number 2024-36, an ordinance amending Centerton Municipal Code, section 2.16.03, fixing the salary for city clerk.
So I'd like to make motion to adopt ordinance 2024-36 with a salary of 18,807.12. We have a motion by Cliff. We have a second?
Second.
Okay, roll call.
Cody Miles.
Yes.
Darren Warren.
Yes.
Josie Reed.
Yes.
Higginbotham.
Yes, ma'am.
Thompson.
All right, that's it with ordinances. Let's go to resolution. So this first resolution is resolution 2024-37. This is to set a public hearing to discuss impact fees. And Anthony will be at the next meeting with proposals. We will get this out, email out, we'll get it in the paper, the public notice. We're also I'm gonna have our building safety department send it to all developers and all. They have a big email group for them, just so everybody's aware. We'll put it under public notices and all that stuff. But we want to make sure that, you know, we have a good hearing. At that next meeting, Anthony will make some proposals. We'll discuss it, discuss amounts. You can go up or down and anything. And then in February, we can bring an ordinance after the council agrees with it.
Is that the same week of the Little Rock Conference? The 14th?
Yeah, the conference is 15, 16, and 17.
Okay, okay.
We're all gonna Zoom in. No, I'm just kidding.
No, I was.
No, it's the same week. That's a Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. This is a Tuesday.
Okay, making sure it wasn't overlap.
And it's usually like that in January and June. So,
No, I went to July.
Okay.
all right. So any questions on that? We're just setting the public hearing. Counselor?
City of Centerton Resolution number 2024-37, a resolution setting a public hearing to discuss impact fees, City of Centerton, Benton County, Arkansas.
Someone like to make motion to adopt resolution 2024-37.
So moved.
Have a motion.
Second.
Have a second. Roll call.
It doesn't say that on here. You messed me up. Cody Miles.
Yes.
Darren Warren.
Yes.
Josie Reed.
Yes.
Keith Higginbotham.
Yes, ma'am.
And Thompson.
Yes. All right, this next resolution is resolution 2024-38, and Josh is here if we have any questions on this. This is a purchase agreement with Gray Bar Electric out of Springdale for purchasing lighting for the Corner Woods Park and Trail. There's an attached quote there for it, which will not exceed $100,000. This will be purchased on the OMNIA Cooperative Purchasing Program. If we do approve this tonight, which I think we will, we are still waiting on corrections on the purchasing agreement. So we will not sign any documents until Brian reviews that. Brian has been in touch with Anthony, so we'll get that hashed out next day or two. It's just some wording changes on the agreement, and that'd make audit happy too, so.
Yeah, there's that, and I'm waiting for a copy of a master agreement.
Yeah, so Anthony and Brian are working on that, so we would make it contingent of that. And then Josh, you want to say anything on these lights or anything, or? Here's the quote, which I did put in there. Oh, that's close, 99,270.
Good evening. Basically along the lines of these will be solar panel lights that go up and down the corner of Wood Park, which is the corner of Seba and Keller. Will also go along the sidewalk as ballards, so they'll short into the walkway. And down the walking trail on Seba, Meadowwood walking trail, basically along there. Should save some money because we are doing solar. We don't have to run electricity to them. And they have good warranties on them, 5-year warranty on the batteries, everything.
It's awesome.
LED too, right? Is that what I read?
LEDs.
They're a little bright. Great. Any
Awesome.
questions for Josh? Counselor?
All right, resolution number, so it is contingent on.
Yeah, I'll make that in the final motion too.
Resolution number 2024-38, a resolution authorizing the mayor and city clerk as representatives of the city of Centerton, Arkansas to enter into a purchase agreement with Great Bar Electric Company, Springdale, Arkansas for purchase of lighting equipment for Corner Woods Park and Trail.
Somebody make a motion to adopt resolution 2024-38 contingent on Brian's approval of the master purchase agreement and the agreement itself.
So moved.
And we have a motion. We have a second?
Second.
Second. Roll call, ma'am.
Miles,
Aye, or yes.
Derek Warren,
Yes.
Josie Reed.
Yes.
Keith Higginbotham.
Yes, ma'am.
Thompson.
Yes. All right, I'm gonna bring Chief up here next. So while he's walking up here, this next resolution is 2024-34. This is a resolution with Milestone Construction for the Police Department addition and remodel. So bids were put out, and I got the notice and everything in there. This is the list of bidders and their quotes. Also in the Dropbox, I put all the documents from all 5 bidders. They're all in the Dropbox there for if anybody wanted to see them. I got the Milestone one in there, which is the one that they recommended. Milestone, from what I understand, I had actually somebody call me on this one today, said that they've done some county work and they've done a great job with them. And I think when the chief sent me the recommendation last week, he told me the same exact thing. So I'll let you take it away, Chief.
Yes, the current project that they have right now is down on the square, the county administration building, along with central communications, everything that the building behind the courthouse and some of the courthouse renovation is what they're currently working on. They did have good references from that as well. The architect, Dave Burris, also followed up with Milestone to make sure that Milestone hadn't forgotten anything or left anything out of the bid. He told me that what do you call it, bid confirmation did come back where they did have everything included in their pricing.
And this is funded, the taxpayers did approve $1.5 million for this bond project to, expand and remodel the police department.
Correct.
And he's going to use those funds plus a little bit of money from the incarceration account since he's going to have a holding cell in there. So.
Yeah, this is just the last thing we need to do. I did get the contract yesterday, late in the day. So got that forwarded over to the mayor, so he'll get that over to Brian for review. So we should be able to get that done really quick.
We'll need to make this one contingent. Yeah, because I did send it to him yesterday. We're good.
So what are you looking at? If this passes tonight on possible start?
So, I mean, I wouldn't think it'd probably be before the first of the year. They're gonna be starting the dirt work. There's a hefty pond renovation with the detention pond in the back, the site work, so that'll start pretty soon. Within the contract itself, it has a timeline completion date of October 31st.
Sorry, what completion date?
Next year.
October 31st, yes, sir.
Next year.
Halloween.
2020.
And the candy out there.
So we're thinking a 9-month.
Yeah.
This is, still the same project that we had, been talking about, the 3,000 square feet, along with some storage, and.
Pond work too, right?
Yeah.
You want, sir?
A little bit of pond work too, right?
Yes, unfortunately, that's the bad part. We have to go back in there and redo the pond again. The pond was extended quite a bit to the west when we did the city hall project, which took up a lot of my building area, so we had to go back and do the pond renovations, unfortunately.
I will tell you this, the project's already been through planning and planning has approved the project.
Correct.
You want to get, I told him I want to get all that done before we put this out, make sure there's no other contingencies.
Any questions?
You want me to read it since your mouth's full?
All right, here we go.
I can read it.
I'm trying to.
Oh, too high, my sugar's too high.
Everything is good, by the way. Thank you. Resolution number 2024-39, a resolution authorizing the mayor and city clerk as representatives of the city of Centerton, Arkansas to enter into an agreement with Millstone Construction Company, Springdale, Arkansas for a police department addition and remodel for the city of Centerton.
Some like make a motion to adopt resolution 2024-39 contingent of review of the contract from Brian, which he does have.
So moved.
We have a motion. We have a second?
Second.
Roll call, ma'am.
Cody Miles,
Yes.
Brad Warren,
Yes.
Josie Reed,
Yes.
Keith Higginbotham.
Yes, ma'am.
Cliff Thompson.
Yes.
I didn't know that. I'd gotten one of those.
Y'all got enough food and everything? You good? Cliff, you need cake down there or something? Oh, good.
Anytime for me.
I just want to thank.
Let her
the
anytime
city.
she wants.
Hey, Darren, I want to get in on this too. I just want to thank the city. Look, here we are done with the resolutions and ordinances. All we had was 36 ordinances in this year. That's a record, I think. And then
The time, yeah.
39, well, and some of those never got passed, so we didn't even have that many.
You got a couple of tables.
I think we've done pretty good for this year. My golly, I'll brag on myself.
We'll take it back.
I need to grow.
One year we did like, there's one year that one year he told me he had like 100 orders. This is what, I forgot, this 2 years ago, it was like 100 of them. So, all right, so y'all got enough cookies and everything?
Yeah,
Good
we're
job.
good. Sugared up. We're good.
All right, so next, I asked Cody to come talk about this. This is an overtime policy which basically affects salary positions at the police department. I'll let you go and then I'll add what I found.
This has come along, for example, where the lieutenant this next year is moving from an hourly position to a salaried position. There's, with the definition of the salary positions and the Fair Labor Standards Act, there's gonna be quite a few other positions that would fall within that are gonna be being pushed at the state level to go towards like a salary type position. A salary, you know how all of us who worked hourly and salary positions are much easier to budget. You know exactly what you're gonna have, what you're not gonna have. So this is part of getting ahead of that. So what this is does not change any of our day-to-day regular overtime policy. This affects the things in which is reimbursed by a third party. So this could be grant funds, this could be athletic events that are paid for by the school district, by the DFA, by vendors. Walmart being an example, we do security details for Walmart. But with our current policy, if we move somebody into a salaried position, exempt them from being able to even work those details. The Ravington is one where we work and do the traffic control at the Ravington. So that would exempt them from being able to work those events as well. With the area growing the way it is, we probably had at least a dozen different overtime, what we call overtime or off-duty assignments for events, anything from traffic control to security, to just being there at the event itself. These are all paid for not by city funds, they're paid for by a third party. So that's where this would allow anybody, regardless of being hourly or salary configured person, they'd be eligible to work the third party reimbursed overtime assignments. This would only affect, the policy only affects the salary. That's where the things are going, is more towards salary. For instance, even at the sergeant's level, the sergeants technically meet the definition because of our current salaries and how many people they supervise. So I just wanted to get ahead of that, so everybody still has the opportunity to work the third-party overtime assignments.
This is a win-win. It's because it's reimbursed third party, it gives your officers an opportunity to make a little extra money on the side.
So I do want to add a little bit to this. The next one is just an email chain between him and the step folks. Cause we did get gigged on this, back in 2018 by step. I remember the trooper coming in here and showing me on page 22 a document I signed. I still have nightmares in it. But, so he has passed this through step, and step said the policy looked good to them. So I went one step further. I contacted legislative audit. And, they said as long as this policy and our city handbook matches, which that's why we'll have a discussion today. And then if we're good with moving this forward, I'm gonna have Jocelyn, update, our policy manual, and bring it back next month.
This has been a collaborative effort with the state working on this. This policy is actually, I'm gonna, what I call sanitize the policy, take everything of Centerton out. This is a policy that the state is going to use as a model policy to be able to provide to all agencies within the state.
And there's only, like he said, this third party things, the school, the Ravington, step is probably the big one. And again, I was a little leery of it, but after talking to him and talking to the legislative audit, I talked to the supervisor there, he was good, so, and this email that backs it up says that their policy was good.
Yeah, I read the email, so that was great communication between you and the state on the step.
Absolutely.
The only thing I'd add to it is, I know it gives opportunity for exempt officers to now do this. I would just obviously ask that we make it available to our non-exempt, because, they're lower paid from you guys that are exempt, that we should make sure that they're a priority and they're offered these, third party.
And they are.
First
Rotation or something.
because I know we got, I didn't want to bring up 2018, but we had that. And that's the only thing I wanted to do, that we give those guys an opportunity first.
That's exactly why I called on it.
That's how we handle all of these things. This also talking to another city in the area. So the one thing we ran into this year was like the FEMA reimbursements, and there's kind of they don't like salaried wages in the FEMA reimbursements. With having something like this, it actually opens that up, makes that process a lot easier. So for instance, the city of Little Flock has gone through this process. One of their big drivers was the natural disaster reimbursements as well. It'll help us streamline that process for anybody who's a salaried position to be able to get those expenses reimbursed by that as well.
I think Jocelyn wanted to say something.
Yes.
Come on up.
Back to the salary.
Come up here, Jocelyn. Come on up, so the microphone picks you up.
Able to,
Get to see you very often. Come on up.
Exactly.
just one quick question, because are you saying we already have a policy?
No, we have to make this policy mirror what's in our handbook.
Where did this policy come from?
It's theirs, but it also was approved.
Theirs
Yeah.
too.
Approved by the state staff, the people who administer the grant.
Can I get a
Yeah,
copy of that?
Of course you can. I'm going to work with.
So, are we trying to offer it to hourly first? And if we don't have any takers, then it would go up the
That's how it's even
chain
done.
of command?
Right now, we don't even offer it to anybody other than hourly.
Right.
So
But if you guys are gonna be included, if the salary employees are gonna be included in this offering, how are we gonna know that nobody else accepted that position?
because you have the email chains that will put out the requests.
Okay, so all I ask is that I am included in that, because often I'm left out of stuff until. But I would want to be part of that, to make sure that if it wasn't taken by an hourly employee, this is why because again, documentation is important. So if we ever need to justify why our hourly employees, and not only that, but also we do have hourly employees that will say, oh, no, I wasn't asked, or, so if we have documentation, that, yeah, it was offered to the department, you didn't answer, you didn't sign up, this is why it went up the chain.
For instance, how we handle it currently, the Ravington put out, requested different dates. They sent me the email, sent it to the mayor. I forward those emails to the captain and lieutenant, and lieutenant sends them out to the entire department, for people to pick those up. How we currently do it right now is we offer that out to, the employees. It's on a first come, first served basis, so whichever one of the officers picks it up first is who gets it. There is no like designation as far as like this person, or go down the list. It's, who's the first one to actually pick up the assignment.
Do you give them a time frame as to how soon they need to respond if they're interested?
It's within,
Where they get.
you're talking, we put it out, you probably have it assigned within half a day. It's not like we have a waiting list that we're waiting until the very end of something to be picked up.
But are the same people putting in every time?
Not necessarily. I mean, with like anybody, with any organization, you're gonna have a core group of individuals who are willing to sacrifice time and will pick up different assignments and things. So yes, you're gonna have a group of people who are working more off-duty things than you are the ones that have no interest in working that off-duty assignment. So, but there's no selection as far as like this person gets it or this person gets it. It's whoever requests the assignment.
I will also add that he talked to me like last year, or the year before, that he gets the step grant, gets a block of money and weren't even able to use it all because some of the officers didn't want to work it. So, I mean, you got some that, because I signed off on all the payroll. I've seen the same ones, I won't mention names, but you get the same ones doing it.
That's a question I have. I guess I need to get more familiar with the STEP program. But do we get to choose how many hours of STEP we take on as a department, or?
Yes, we put in for funds. We're selected to receive funds from the state. It's like any other grant. You put in for a block and you get it or you don't.
Are we at risk of getting kicked out of the program if we're not meeting the hours that we signed up for?
We gotta use it.
If you actually look at it, I could go back and show you over the course of the last at least 3 cycles, it's been lower and lower and lower every year.
I got a question. How are we reimbursed for this third party work or as compensation?
So, well, how we do it right now is we actually pay the officers directly their overtime rate. And I will send Shannon an email. Usually I'll get the contact information for who to invoice, and we send them an invoice and get paid.
Just for the time and a half?
Right. Oh, it's a little bit more than that, because with time and a half, you actually have to figure in the cost of the benefits and different things. So you have to cover all of that. That's correct.
$49 an hour, I think.
Yeah, which that's gonna be changing just because of the salaries and things. So
That was 49 an hour.
yeah, that's how we do that, but it covers all.
Just wanted to make sure we were capturing some of those additional costs for.
Correct.
If those are pensionable hours, then there's another 20% we're taking for that pension
And this is actually covered.
fuel and equipment and all that.
And it's actually covered, the legislature has actually covered this directly. What the statutes say is that we just cannot lose money. It's not a money-making venture. It's just that you actually,
On cap.
you cannot.
I just wanted to make sure we weren't just capturing the salary.
Yep, we figure a lot in, to it. That's why all the rates are, I couldn't have top of my head just because it's, I don't know exactly all the benefits and everything else. It's not done off of the individual, it's done off the average as a whole, for the organization.
So they know that when they hire an officer, they've got an amount that they're gonna pay.
So they know what the hourly rate is, and so they know that upfront, whenever they're gonna reimburse those things. So, and it could be anything from, we worked the athletic events, different school events. We worked an AAU track meet this year. Walmart, I'd be surprised, somebody gets upset at somebody at Walmart and they want us to be there sitting in the parking lot or just walking around the store. But to guarantee that asset for them, it's done on an off-duty basis, so they pay at a different rate. So.
All right, so this was a discussion item. I don't think we need to take any action. I think the next step for me, Cody and Jocelyn to get together, I'll give her this policy. We need to mirror the city policy. And I think unless Rabel has any objection, or Brian, I'm sorry.
I do not.
Then next month we'll bring back the new city policy and then we'll approve this one with it, if the council's good with that. Or do you want to approve as pending that? Either way, it's up to you.
I make a motion that, I think if nothing else, we need to at least give our thoughts on whether we're
Good with it or not?
good with it. But Brian, would you do it contingent on?
Well, I think based on what I'm hearing is this policy needs to mirror some of the language in the city policy.
Yes.
I would like to see both policies approved at the same time.
I'm good. That's why I wrote discuss. I just wanted to bring it up and, before we move forward, so we'll bring it back. We'll bring it back in January. So.
If I was here in January, I'd support it, but
I think Josh is back there. Just tell Josh you support him. Josh, he supports it. All right. All right, thanks. I think we're done with that one. Thank you. All right, so next, I just wanted to acknowledge receipt. I did apply for a TAP grant. All these cities did. I want to say something about grants though. So when we apply for grants, we are competing with 500 other cities, 77 counties, lots of nonprofit organizations. And this grant I applied for, this is an RDOT grant, is I get several calls and I see kids walking up and down Highway 279 over there by Grimsley. And right now, to me, it does not look feasible to put a sidewalk over on that west side. They won't just put a crosswalk there and, because there's no sidewalk on the other side. So I've had RDOT out here 3 or 4 times. So I decided, let me put in for this grant, and this is an engineering grant. We can hire an engineer, let them look at the feasibility of this, because I don't, just for a 5-foot sidewalk along there and a crosswalk. But I did apply for this. We did receive it. And I just wanted to acknowledge the receipt of it.
It was 80,000.
It's 80,000 and we got matched 20. There's a total of 100, but 80 is what they're gonna give me. So with that, someone like make a motion, just acknowledge receipt of the grant.
So moved.
Okay, got a motion?
Second.
Second, all in favor?
All right.
Any opposed? Next, and you've already seen this, sorry. Oh yeah, that's right there. All right, so this is the water and sewer budget. I just wanted y'all to acknowledge receipt of it. I know Josh actually came up and gave us a good presentation on the budget. He says, "Hey, Bill, I don't know if you've seen this." I said, "Yeah, it's in the Dropbox." No, because Malcolm did send it to me last week, so.
I know Bob already left. I don't know Malcolm's still here, but what Joshua did helped me out a whole lot. So like if this would have been brought to us last month, I know it's kind of hard, even if it was just a draft, and kind of talk us through it, even though I have a difficult time voting for a rate increase. And even though we had this for a little bit, but having somebody explain it like Joshua did, that helped out a whole lot on how I made my decision on that ordinance. So I don't know, whoever might send an email to the commission, the things that we're concerned about is the communication of the budget like this. Hey, we see that I've got a whole lot of wiggle room in their budget. And I just, since we're getting ready to acknowledge the receipt of this, I just kind of wanted to mention that, so.
Okay.
That's
Anyone
very
else?
helpful.
Anyone else? Somebody make a motion to acknowledge receipt of this budget, of the water and sewer budget. Got a motion? We have a second?
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Okay, any opposed? Sorry. All right. Last thing I have is Jerry Harris, who is a member of our planning commission, has resigned from that position, which will create an opening. So there's his resignation letter. And if the council accepts the resignation, I will put them applications out first thing in the morning. It's already written. All I gotta do is put it out. And we'll take applications until January 6th and hopefully appoint someone by the next council meeting. So, I'll make a motion to accept Jerry Harris's resignation.
Somebody.
I heard 2 of you.
I'll second.
I heard Cliff down there. I don't know.
I was gonna say, I thought I heard Cliff and Cody.
You got what you need?
I did.
Cliff, and then Keith, or was it?
Keith can second it.
Keith second. All in favor?
All right.
Any opposed? All right, the only other business I had was the chamber update, which
Chris did an
Chris
awesome
already
job.
did an awesome job, but she also gave me a printed version of an update, which I did put in the Dropbox for you. So it's in there for, if you want it. You want to say anything else about it, or?
No, Chris did a great job.
Chris is going to be our ambassador for the chamber.
Yeah.
All right, anybody else got any other business?
So do we just have Christmas bonuses built into the budget now and we don't have to discuss them anymore?
Yes, that's
I
correct.
can remember from last year, I know typically this was the meeting that we would.
No,
discuss.
they're in there, longevity bonus. Yeah, it's in there. You approved it last year.
I guess the only other thing I've got to say, Wendy, you've got some huge shoes to fill with Keith. My feet are smaller, Joshua, but, you know, I believe y'all gonna do great. So, you know, have fun with this for the next, 4 years, I guess. It's gonna be interesting. Only other thing, you know, Matt said something, I think that would be more of a headache when he mentioned dissolving the commission. And I just kind of want to touch on a little bit. I don't know what that would take legally, but,
Thirds vote of the council.
I don't think at this time, maybe we need to give them another opportunity to get these leaks fixed, even though, there's probably some people that would support that. I don't know if I would at this time. Obviously, I'm rolling off the council, so I wouldn't have any impact on that other than coming up here and speaking as a citizen, so.
Anyone else?
I'm gonna offer them some feedback as far as what to bring back, because my concern is, you know, we should see a detailed plan of what the leak repairs look like, and are we identifying the cause of these leaks so we can prevent future leaks? And then, you know, what's the progress? Because I'm a little apprehensive about throwing money in a bucket with a hole in it. If we're losing a third of the money we throw in every time we put it in there, so.
Well, and the comment's been made that it's in the commission report, but every commission report I look at, I cannot find where any leak update.
Well, there
is
was the
within-
one that, the mayor sent us last month that had information on there. And it was showing basically from the previous month to this month, even though it was like 1%, it went up. And then from last year to this year, the percentage of leaks had went up. So that's why I was such a concern that, okay, if these guys are working on it, should it be stable or maybe coming down? You know, I know it's not gonna go from 33% all of a sudden down to 20%. But it's like, if it went up 1% and they're working on this, I mean, that was my thing. And that, yeah, like you said, it's difficult to see some of that stuff. And I know, I guess we could be attending their meetings, but the one that the mayor sent us last month had that information in there.
Mhm.
Cause I sent an email about that and didn't get a response.
Well, yeah, come on up here so the public can see you. No, so we can hear you. That picks you up right there.
I don't know if it's specifically in the minutes. I've looked at the minutes. I don't know that I've ever seen it in there either. It's in the field op report. And if you want to know about that, I would specifically, if I were you, I would ask for Red to come. Ask for Red to come. And I don't know if he can or will, but that's who I ask every month. Tell me about the leaks. How's it going? What's going on? I will tell you another thing about the leaks. The lead
Mission.
person that was hired to be the lead of the team,
Yeah.
went to work for Walmart. So, I don't know if they've hired somebody new. I have not heard since then. That was something that they didn't bring up tonight. And so we are facing that stuff. I know with the police department during the raises, everybody's wanting to raise because we want to keep people. We want people to come and work for the city and not use the city to then go work for Walmart. So, anyway, that's my 2 cents. I would ask for Red. He's gonna hate it that I brought it tonight.
So
This is something I would pick to commission. Let's say they get these leaks from 30% down to 20%. That's like a raise for them.
right.
What are they gonna do about rates then? Would there ever be an opportunity to lower the rates? Because now they're actually saving money because they got rid of
Right.
some of these leaks. You know, how do you address going from 30% to 20? Because it pretty well you go national average, you're gonna have 10 to 15% leakage. It's just something that's gonna happen.
That's the
You know, if you go from 33% to 20%, where does that savings
Right,
go?
right.
You know,
Yes.
how are they gonna address that savings?
Yes.
You know, in 3 years, if they get it from 33% to 20%, I know it's not gonna happen overnight.
And Cindy, I think
I
Cindy.
just want to speak to, I've attended the last 3 months worth of, do I have to go up there?
Yes, you do. Yep. Our meetings are during the week,
8:30 in the morning.
I would say I've attended, as well as Bill, to the last 3 water commission meetings, and I think it's really imperative that some of our council actually attend those meetings. It's very enlightening. I was a little disappointed, kind of just some of the things I've seen as a resident, because obviously I wasn't elected at that point, but just kind of how they interact with each other. Sometimes not even allowing others to talk, and getting their points across. It's frustrating, as a resident, especially if someone is going to bring forth, which sounds like we'll be a part of that decision, but bringing forth a rate increase, I don't have a lot of confidence, fully in the commission, just in the 3 times I've been there. So, while I'm still green in that area, I'm still learning. It just doesn't, the optics weren't good for me as a resident. If I'd been my only time going, I probably wouldn't have wanted to go back. So just letting you know, I think it's important for us to go. I will continue to go to those meetings, because I think our presence is definitely important there too. So.
You have something? Come on up and we'll wrap this up.
I guess that's why Josh was resigning. He can't be on that board and on the
Can't be
county.
on both.
The comments in front and in the back end.
We'll do that.
I just wanted to say about the water leaks. They used to address it at the water commission meetings every month. And then when we started asking questions and making comments on it, all of a sudden it disappeared from the agenda. And they were discussing it unless we would ask them. Well, when you put a dollar amount to these losses, you can hire at least minimum, it's like 1.2 to 1.4 million dollars is going straight into the ground that we pay in our bills. That is, if they had 3 teams even working on these leaks, ever since they hired that first team, they've been stuck at Tamron. Nobody else has gotten repairs. Every time we would ask, or I would ask about what's the update on the leaks? Well, we really don't have any updates or what's the progress? Because when we get one leak fixed over here, it creates more pressure over there. And so they just weren't making they were making progress in that they were repairing some things, but the loss was still the same. So you're talking millions of dollars in loss that's being poured into the ground. They can hire extra people to get on this and still save money. If they had that 1.2 to 1.4 million dollars in the budget, they wouldn't have to be asking for raises every year like they're asking. And you are right, Mayor Bill, they did ask for 2 raises. One was like early spring and one was in 2023. I think it was at the end of 23, but they both hit us because I know my bill went up like $15, just bang.
I was looking at that 465, yeah, but it was 465 for a long time, and then I'm looking at 620. I'm just there staring at the screen, like what?
That's what I keep putting in my mind is that dollar amount that's just going into the ground. They're paying it, but it's not going to any services but to water the ground. So
Thank you.
I think that was important.
Anything else, council? I just want to say, one update. We do have a Christmas parade Friday, 6 p.m. Come on out. We're having hot chocolate at the community room. Hot chocolate at the community room, sorry.
Sponsored by the chamber.
Sponsored by the chamber,
Cookies sponsored by First National Bank.
fire department, everybody's gonna be, yes, Matt. Oh, Santa will be around the neighborhood Saturday. I just found out, sorry to get it on there. Well, all right, hey, I just want to say one more thing before we adjourn. I remember back, young council member back in 2010, I was sitting right there. We approved the budget. This man right here. Yeah, I love this guy, but this man right there, he sat right there after the council approved the budget. I had nothing to do with it. And he said, Mr. Edwards, he didn't even, he said, Mr. Edwards, there's your spending authority right there. That stuck with me. So I appreciate everything you've done, Keith and Darren.
Yes.
And the planning commission. I mean, Darren's been a good asset to that too. He served on both and,
You forgot I was on the planning commission. Oh, but that was before your time.
no, you were there during my time. I did forget. I tried to say sorry. Yeah, he was on the planning commission, him and Judy Kaufeld at the same time. All right. So with that, would somebody make motion to adjourn?
Do you have something else you wanted?
Well, I was just gonna mention that comments from the commission there when they.
We're not
talking about 33% loss, but somebody else is 50%. I think we need to benchmark where we're at and track progress.
agree.
We can always find somebody that's working.
Yes, we need to focus on where we are and how we get reduced.
Been an honor. Thank y'all for allow me this honor,
You gonna make that final motion?
make a motion to adjourn.
You gonna second it?
I'll second.
All right, all in favor?
Want to stick around? Stick
All
around.
right, we're adjourned.